Welcome to Spider-Verse Minute, the tri-weekly podcast where we watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 1 minute at a time. I'm Caroline Slater.
And I'm her brother Sean.
And today we are talking about minute 94. It starts with Penny mourning Spider, and ends a minute later with Noir talking about the Rubik's Cube.
What did you title this minute?
Goodbyes begin.
Yeah, we get the first two goodbyes in this minute. And yeah, we get Spider saying goodbye to Spider.
This is a very bittersweet minute,
Yeah,
to be honest.
it is.
Like, it starts out very bitter, then it gets kind of sweet, then it gets a little bitter again.
I do like how Noir interacts with Penny.
I love how he
in
interacts
their
with Penny.
goodbye, like the I think one of the nicest things that he does to him or to her is he like does a little tap on her shoulder with his fist, like a hey, let's get out of here kind of thing. As they all turn around. I am a little sad that she didn't bring the suit with her. She didn't bring Spider with her, and it's just like laying there.
I don't think she could have really carried it.
Yeah, I like as I think about it, I realize, as I thought about it more, I realized that she doesn't have web abilities, and it would be kind of funny to just see her with it like really strapped to her back. She has
Spider on her shoulders, and then she's on the back of Spider Noir, and he's swinging. It's been great.
Yeah, I mean, Spider Noir could have drug it along, but I like to think like when she jumps into the portal, just have like the suit strapped to her back like a ginormous backpack, and she's just not able to do anything with it because it's like she has it on, but her feet are like 2 feet off of the ground. I was picturing that after I was like, oh, it would have been nice, but they could have even just like dropped it into the portal with her, and
true.
And then she would have had it to work on when she got through, and she wouldn't have to completely start from over.
Man.
Yeah, one of the interesting things that or one of the things I thought was interesting, we had the like close up of her face and the saying goodbye was it just had the Kirby dots behind her, but then when it cuts further back and it shows Ham and Noir and Spider in the shot as well.
Yeah,
we see a bunch of like junk just kind of floating in there, and it starts to move closer, and it was like I don't know if they tried it with the junk behind her as well, and we're just like it's too cluttered, and it takes away from it. But it seemed a little bit odd that it was like the junk was kind of like waiting back to like, oh wait, she's having a moment, we can't get in frame. It's like, okay, moment's over. We need to move into place. Hurry up, so they can swing onto us.
The junk are actual actors.
Yeah,
that's why this movie is great. They hired actual junk.
Hey, even junk needs work every once in a while.
I do think it was more just because it was such a close up of her face that if you had junk in there, I just think it would have looked too cluttered.
Yeah. Now,
my theory is that they just hid the junk behind her head.
But we even see, like, when it cuts out, you can, even at the different angle, you see that there's no junk back there, and it slowly starts to move into frame.
I like your theory better, where it's all the junk just waits.
Just wait for it. Go.
No. I know we talked about it a little bit last minute about how, like, the moment between Penny and Spider feels kind of off and a little weird and not totally earned.
Yeah.
But I do still really like the moment a lot.
Yeah, it's a, if they had earned it, like, it would have been very meaningful. It was,
I think it's a nice breather moment.
Yeah. And it's, just prepping us for all the other goodbyes that are about to go on.
Yeah.
And yeah, it does, like, there is a bit of, you can feel her emotion. It just doesn't reciprocate back to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I like the way how she just like crawls onto Noir's back.
I just love that Noir let her crawl on his back.
Yeah.
That was so sweet. The next note I have, moving on, is after Miles reverses the collider. I love how we get a shot of Kingpin and he slams down, and yet he breaks the glass forward by doing that. It's like, wow. Oh, it's quite the vibration you did there, sir. I chuckle at it now, but watching it, I'm like, that's actually terrifying.
Yeah, it's a very just intimidating moment that happens then.
I feel like we've talked about it so many times, but I just can't get over it. They do a great job at making Kingpin both sympathetic, but also a guy you would never root for.
Yeah.
Like, they do a great job at balancing. It's like, here's his motive. Still don't root for him. Like, they don't go too far. It's like, oh, but like, you know what? No, I'm kind of rooting for him. Like, they don't do that. It's like, nah, he's still a terrible person.
Yeah.
And he's very scary.
And then when they cut back to Miles finally being able to insert the goober, I like how they made it so it was just like once he got there, it was a very simple like plug in, and it wasn't like amidst a fight and he, quickly scrambled and plugged it in and then, had to get pulled away momentarily.
Yeah.
I liked how they just had it. Okay, we're all here. Let's take a breather. I plugged it in, or well, I guess it was the other way around. I plugged it in and then we all got there.
Yeah.
And the hologram like pops up that Penny programmed in for it, which was also really cool.
Yeah, I'd like to know how he would have had to like reset the portal without the hologram there.
Well, I think, like, I bet before the old goober was just a shut-off goober.
Okay.
And then now that there was, like, the one that original Peter had.
And then this one is a bit more of a we need to reverse then shut off type thing.
Yeah, we need to be able to let the other spiders go back to their universes.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Peter of Miles universe said it was an override key originally.
Yeah.
So that could have been just a complete shutdown. Okay, no, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
And Miles got a hang of those holograms really quickly. Like, do you think they practiced a little bit while waiting for Penny to... like, do they think they all practiced? Or was it just he's like, well, let's just wiggle my hands around a little bit and see if it works.
I bet Penny programmed it so it would be like holograms for dummies.
Yeah.
So like a toddler.
Miles actually wasn't doing anything. It was all automated, but it's like when you give, the unplugged controller to the, younger sibling.
Yeah.
It's just like, here, you can use this one and I'll play the game over here, really. But like, and it was interesting that Miles just needed to
plug it in.
Well, not just plug it in, but it just like set the portal like, or just reverse it and open it up so that they could jump in. And then it was like he didn't have to switch it for each of their universes. It was just like a one size fits all, and then they get to figure it out once they get in there, I guess.
They're all just swimming through that like in between, trying to figure out which of their universes.
Or maybe it just defaults to go back to whatever universe you're most stable in.
That's possible. It's possible that it took like their DNA, very similar to like how we saw in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like it's all their DNA. It's like, oh, you belong to this universe type thing.
Yeah. Or their like frequency. They're like, oh, this frequency matches up with this, and yeah. I wish. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I love how Penny, before she jumps in, says like, well, it's nice to know we're not alone.
Yeah, and
like, oh.
I was a little sad that she only said thanks to Miles and not any of the others. Like, she's just like, thanks, Miles, and then jumps off instead of saying like thanks to everybody else. It would have been kind of neat to have like a thanks, Miles, and like maybe a hug to Noir, and then jumping off her, say thanks to everybody, and or a little head bap for Noir. Because she's still on his shoulders.
That's yeah.
And like, I kind of said this last week, I think, a couple minutes ago anyway, when they were during the fights, how I wish
things were more stylized.
Yeah, and like I then I was talking about how I wished Ham's fighting was a bit more stylized. Yeah. In this case, I wish Penny's like portal splash would have been a lot more anime like.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it just seemed to splash like red.
Red and blue.
Yeah, but it didn't really feel like a anime style.
Yeah, like it didn't feel specific to her and some. But I really got a short end of the stick in a lot of this now that I think about it.
Yeah, I mean the three non-main spiders kind of did.
I hope in the next movie they get more time.
Yeah.
I like them a lot. Anyway, I agree. I think it would have been fun to see more of an anime inspire thing. I wonder if they did the blue and the red, like that's such a stark contrast because of Spider. Like, because he had that very stark red and blue contrast that didn't really have any blending.
Yeah, and hers is more red than blue, and it's also just a big, like, currently the background was kind of pinkish, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's a pinkish background. And so having that red kind of punches that pink a lot more. Yeah. I guess blue would have also worked there. But
but yeah, I think that's the connection with that. But I also agree. I wish they did a little more stylization with her leaving.
Yeah.
The next thing I have is we then go to Noir saying goodbye.
Yes, and his Rubik's Cube.
I love how he holds it up.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm taking this cube thing with me. I don't understand. This is going a little bit into the next minute. But I'm also like, I don't understand it. But I will.
Yeah. I did kind of like that running gag of just... They only really showed it in 2 spots, and then the one deleted alt scene where he doesn't really understand colors yet. And I like that just little, like, yeah, he's just everything's black and white where he's from, so he doesn't know what the color blue or green
I do find it funny how like that's a way to definitely confirm. It's like, so he can see color. His world is literally just colored in black and white.
Yeah.
Like, that's hilarious to me.
Or, see, I don't know if it... I guess it does. I don't know. Because, like, it seems like... Doesn't he call the cube purple at one point?
He says, is this purple? And they're like, no.
I guess maybe he was just pointing a specific color on
I think he was pointing to a specific color.
Okay, that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah.
Although it would be funny if he just like, oh no, I guess if everything was black and white, it would be funny if he just like pointed to different shades of gray and called them different colors, like, oh, that's blue, and it was just like a shade of gray because like that's the shade that the sky is, in, or like a different shade for like, oh yeah, that one's purple.
I would love if like the gang went to Spider Noir's world, just because I feel like they would be an utmost spectacle.
Yeah.
And I think it would be hilarious just to see them. They're like, so how do y'all tell what colors everything is? Like, we just know here.
He just pulls up, what do you mean, how do we tell? And just pulls up like a rainbow and it's just grayscale, and he's like, just names them off.
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean? Like, that's clearly what it is. And everyone else is just like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
No, that was all I had for this minute.
Yeah, that's all I have for this minute as well.
Thank you for joining us today. Join us on Wednesday to see some more of the goodbyes. Until then.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.